Yo, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Yinzer on Hockey. Before we begin, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, click the subscribe button, and make sure you click that little bell so you stay up to date on all the off-season happenings. So today, when I expand myself out to the rest of the Metropolitan Division, I want to take a look at Artemi Panarin. And what I want to look at is Artemi Panarin possibly pulling a John Tavares? So today it was reported that Artemi Panarin has given the Columbus Blue Jackets a deadline of September 13th, which is the first day of training camp for the Columbus Blue Jackets, to have an extension in place for them, and he is not willing to negotiate after September 13th. Part of this could be that he just wants to focus on hockey from that point, and he doesn't want the distractions of the contract and everything else going on in the background taken away from his game. Or it's just possible that he just wants a hard deadline to be able to get into free agency. And I think it's possible the second scenario is more likely. He's made it known that he would like to play in a bigger market. Kind of envisions himself playing in a larger hockey market, maybe like a Toronto or a New York or Montreal, somewhere in the bigger markets. And kind of like with, I know there was negotiations all year long with Tavares, but it kind of seemed like they were not very fruitful really ever with the Islanders and Tavares, even down to the final day before free agency when nothing was in place with the Islanders. It was kind of obvious that he was never really serious about negotiating with the Islanders, and he had envisioned himself as a free agent. And I think maybe Panarin is setting himself up for something similar. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. They're both very, very good players and deserve a chance to maximize their value and get as much as they can in the free agent market. So let's take a look back over the course of the last 3 years, and let's compare Artemi Panarin's value with Columbus and Chicago compared to the New York Islanders and John Tavares, and see what type of average annual value we can be looking to expect either from an extension or on the free agent market from Artemi Panarin. So last year he had a contract value of $6 million. And his production last year was, in 81 games, he had 27 goals, 53 assists, or 55 assists for 82 total points. So a little more than a point per game. And that's kind of been where he's floated about most of his career. He had 77 points in 2015-16 and 74 points in 2016-17. So a very productive player, especially considering that he's playing from the left wing. John Tavares, over that same course of time, had 70 points, 66 points, and 84 points. John Tavares playing from the center ice position. So that's not one for one per se to compare their stats. They play different positions, have different roles, and you know, one may or may not favor scoring on the line that they're on. Artemi Panarin was the leading scorer for the Columbus Blue Jackets last year. Very productive in his time with Chicago. And Tavares, I think he was the second leading scorer behind Barzal on the Islanders this year. And Tavares' previous contract was about $5.5 million. So you can see the similarities in their production and their value. So I think we know what Artemi Panarin is expecting now that John Tavares has signed his long-term contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs at $11 million per year. I don't know if that is directly what he is expecting to get in return at an $11 million a year cap hit, but I think there is teams out there that will look at his production, look at his numbers, and see the comparison to John Tavares and see that his value is close to there, and the argument could be made for him getting a contract similar to Tavares's. Do I think maybe Toronto overpaid a little bit? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell that. They will be paying a 36-year-old Tavares $11 million a year, so you never know how a contract ages, really. So, what do you guys think? Is Artemi Panarin angling for a new contract with Columbus, or is he angling for free agency? And what can we expect to see from him in free agency? Where would he end up going? Who has the cap space and the pre-built team ready to win? Because I think winning is going to be important for him, especially with Columbus and Chicago. He has history. He's been to the playoffs. He knows what it's like to get there. Now he just needs to, get deeper in the playoffs. I think winning is going to be important for him, but at 26 years old, maybe it's not the top of his list. Maybe he will go to a rebuilding franchise. What do you guys think? Leave me know in the comments below. What do you think this situation is drawing to? Can they find a resolution in Columbus? Does he hit free agency? Where does he go? Answer those questions below in the comments. And until I see you next time, have a good day.